Alright, so I think the stream thing about things ready to go though. So hello everybody, Megazord X here, back at it again to give you another very exciting video. And for today, yes, I have none other than the great Ace Attorney Chronicles, the game that has existed in Japan as two separate games over there, never got localized, never saw the light of day over there in the East, but Capcom managed to bring these games over here to the West, and I'm thankful that they finally managed to bring these games over here though. I know people that have been in the Ace Attorney series a whole bunch have been greatly waiting on these games though, so it is pretty nice though. So yes, this is the launch day for this game. There was also the launch day for another game, with that being Neo The World Ends With You, and that kind of threw me in a little predicament. My little crazy little work schedule, I was like, well shoot, which game do I do, because I only had time to do one because I gotta go to work extremely early in the morning though. And so I threw up a poll on Twitter, say, you want me to play this, you want to play Neo? And it seems like most of y'all, the majority of y'all, I think, I want to say it was like 60 or 70% to like 30% was in favor of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles though. So this is the game I'm playing for the launch stream. Don't worry, if you're a fan of Neo The World Ends With You, I'll have a Game & Watch series that will premiere live on Friday. I'll just record my gameplay of it and then just have it premiere on the channel though. But yeah, so for the live portion of this is the game I'll be playing for this evening though. So and I will say this, if you did manage to get a copy of the game a little bit early, or kind of close to the launch day of it though, I did notice whenever I actually opened up my physical copy of the game, which you can only get that physical copy on the Switch, you get that early purchase bonus of the art and music from the vault. So heads up, if you kind of want that little bit of content, make sure to go ahead and get this game somewhat close to its launch though. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. I'm gonna go ahead and start this ooh, you can hit new game or select adventure. Oh, you can actually, so that's interesting. You can actually go through and actually choose which episodes you want to do from the very get-go. The Adventure of the Great Departure. Is that the same thing on this side? Okay, yeah. So that's interesting how they kind of let you jump on any of them, but obviously, we play from start to finish, though, so let's go ahead and get up in it, though. I'm gonna love these cutscenes, though.
After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Dang, did the man just get shot?
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Alright, so episode 1. Here we go. Oh my gosh, the text format of that popping up. What the heck? Okay, that has a very old-timey feel. Kind of like the typewriters, but it's probably like 20 times worse than that. Okay. All right, now it's back to normal. Thank goodness. How can it be that just beyond these doors to the quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, no, nothing. Savior glares, murderer. Wait, they're calling me a murderer? Oh, heck no. So my name is Renusuke. Oh shoot, I can't even pronounce that name. Oh, whatever. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident, and now here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. I like the animations that they're actually doing as well. I feel like that just gives it a little extra, little bit of flair. I like that. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him for today. Lawyer? Yes, until the judge has given the verdict of the case. No one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Man, you're bringing swords over. I like how you're able just to show up to a courtroom with an old sword like that, man. Like, what the freak? Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right. Renuske. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. So, what are you apologizing to me for? No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing, just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspaper these past few days. My university professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean, I believe you. I know you're innocent, Renuske. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Renuske. Kazuma Osagi, my best friend. Also in his second year of Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer, impressive, considerable, he's still an undergraduate. I'm not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. I think we probably started this a little earlier in America, but this is based on Japan. And my qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 years ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. True. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all of this has started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get that study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, these government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the more sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in this university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around this temple. I want to bring about a change in our legal system. That's why I had to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city in London together. If only it were that simple, man. Oh dear, look at the time. I better get going. Alright, see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then partner. And that's when everything went down the crap. It was straight after that, that's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? There's that girl. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me, but never mind that for now. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. Your advocating for the defense in the trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about the procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. All right then, Renusuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. Hmm. Hmm. Ugh, this is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Renusuke, oh shoot, can't even pronounce that last name though. I'm going with Renusuke though, but Naruhodo. Yeah, Renusuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor at the forensics medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree with Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi told me about you, and you are his best friend, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you, as you no doubt have heard, Asogi has been granted the permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It is very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. I'm sorry, I don't know what's up with my tongue today. Sorry, what do you mean? You'll soon understand once the proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. Wait a minute. Hold on here. Is this dude trying to frame me? Hold up. I watch a lot of law stuff, but I played just enough Ace Attorney games between 1 and 3. I don't think you just go out and flat out say I do before anybody else say anything like that. Hold the phone. But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant, court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. I think this dude's trying to frame me. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are going to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Osagi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. What the freak? This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty a murder. And so, with absolutely no idea what lay ahead, I embarked on this unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of providing my innocence, the trial that would soon decide my destiny. So this is a courtroom. Look at the way how he's staring and all that stuff. It's kind of big though. The Supreme Court, uh, the Supreme Court. No court in the land has more power. Dang. I don't like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have be, look, can't even talk today. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? What the heck? A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Our military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Renusuke. It's about to begin. Look at that judge. The court will now hear the trial of Renusuke Renata. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. The dude looks very similar to the dude that always plays the first trial, kind of like, you know, tutorial, should I say, whenever you're in the court case. The dude literally looks like the same thing, just, I guess, his ancient old grandpa or whatever, though. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defense advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for a final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Kazuma is a lawyer here. Can't defend myself. If I said I do, it would be a tantamount to lying. And I've been accused of murder, for goodness sakes. I mean, yeah, I can't defend my own self. And this is no time for lies. Try to stop fidgeting, Renusuke. It's distracting. But if I don't say I'll defend myself now, things could end very badly for my friend. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I am standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for him. Yes! What am I doing raising my hand up for? What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Renusuke Yonata, will be defending myself. You'll be what? What are you playing at, Renusuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that at all, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you would feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Just Professor Mikatova shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. That the court hereby recognizes the defense's desires to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought here before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court Judiciary of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to access your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I heard the name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous. I can't even remember that. What was it again? Renosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's going blank. So you know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of the R button. If you ever find yourself forgetting something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you're collecting. Now try switching to people instead with the R button. You'll find the details about the victims in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. So basically, you know, bringing up your evidence as well as, you know, the profiles of the different people, everything pretty much the same as, you know, the Ace Attorney trilogy, or shoot, probably even the same with 4, 5, and 6 in the main series though as well. So nothing really drastically changed from that. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record and then press X to present it now. Look at all these dudes.
Yes!
The victim was none other than Kazume Osogi.
Objection!
Oh? Then why is it the pompous looking boy with the billowing headband standing there? Oops. Oops doesn't do it justice. No content with having killed Dr. Wilson. Now you're claiming my murder as well? I haven't killed anyone. Then concentrate and actually read the court record before you answer. I must say, you are not instilling the court with much confidence here. Quickly, give him the correct answer before he turns the gavel on you. Find the victim in the... Okay, yeah. So, it was funny how I put him. I don't know why, but that was kind of funny. But I'll put this dude. The victim's name is... Stop. You're just saying a random name that you came across the court record, aren't you? How did you guess? It's blatantly obvious. From your wide-eyed look to your bewilderment. I must say, you are not instilling the court with much confidence here. Okay, so I probably should have actually read up on the case accusing what people are. Hold on. Oh, it must have been this dude though. Oh no, that's the history of that. I can't even flip back to actually read the court record. So I kind of just have to know. I should have not chose him or him, but I chose this dude. Even though technically he's a dude outside, so he's not dead. So it really should have been him. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to UMA University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Alright, interesting name, call them the treaty, whatever though. And yet, despite these circumstances, the blood of the Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduate at the Imperial University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under the great scrutiny of our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's stuff. And there is a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh, break it down. Oh dear, look at the time. I better get going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Is whatever happened after that. Look at that man in the corner. I should go and say hello. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did the professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously that was, Reduske? Remember that in court, every assertion must be locked up by evidence. Assertion. Oh, why did I say assertion? Assertion. My goodness. By evidence, but how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now.
Yes.
Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpse to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on this any later. This is the so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Photographic, and back in my time, we just say pictures though, but anyway. Look at this dude. He got shot in the right side of his chest while he was eating dinner. The poor man. Anyway, as you can see here, clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will now accept the modern scientific evidence into the court record. Alright, so that's my first little piece of evidence right there. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Man, that was a long old intro. Oh, shoot. Something like your excellency. So without any further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Ugh, this is it, man. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Osagi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help can you give me, any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of evidence is Ren is that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you can rein in the crazy headband and control the cold stares first. I mean, that headband is pretty intense, man. I'm just saying. State your name and occupation for the court. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter of the Western-style restaurant called Le Carnaval. Oh my gosh, the dude's coughing up blood. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed by foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grind crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, and, roughly about 3 days ago. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring? Maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 o'clock on the day in question. We had a few dinners at the time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with the memory of it too. There were hardly anyone else in the place. Hmm. It was then when I was in the kitchen putting away the crockery and cutlery. Oh, dang, that man was shot. A gunshot rang out. So I hurried over there to the dining room area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. Oh, that objection though, bruh. I believe I asked you to refrain from your petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, you must just quietly listen to the witness. Ugh. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in the court today. Yes, without question. See, and apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? There was no one else around the table but the deceased and the Englishman and the university student. Huh, wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a lady. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjection, but still, what should I do?
Yes.
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard to the court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look at it if you like to. That blood, man. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of the business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will now take the plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well? Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course, here you go. He's acting a little finicky over there. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Yeah, he caught that COVID over there coughing like that. Like look at that man coughing like that. Like he got COVID. Man got COVID. So the court has now heard a precise, or the whole gist of what basically has gone down in this case. Yes, the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking back at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I was called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has devised evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Cosmo? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Oh, please. Yeah, right. I'll go down swinging hard, man. Ain't nobody gonna accuse and throw dirt on my name when I clearly had not done anything. If out of anything, the butler was the one that killed the sucker. Over there lying like that. Could have been someone else, but shoot. Throw him in my spot. Anyway, everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual and there are these oh my gosh. Peculiarities. I don't know why in the world I had trouble saying that word. You said it, Professor. Mikatova said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw the trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty bound to prove that the innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Renusuke. Oh, there's the hand slam. That's what I'm looking for right there. The defendant pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out this witness. Then we'll see just how decisive the evidence really is. Now that's a bold statement. There's the finger pointing I like. Indeed. Prosecution Ayuchi, please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned, the young can be so reckless. You know, many call me saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few moments from now, I'll go ahead and save. I had not done it yet. So that was a lot of talking I went through, at least so far. That dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well, officer. Please bring the witness at once. Witness, kindly state your names and occupation for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yanisa Nosa reporting for duty, sir. Myself, a fine employee of of fine articles of antiquity from the effervescence of the nation Nippon. and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premise of the second district. Gosh, all of these names, man, what the freak? You can tell this was heavily Japan-based. Golly. At your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pair. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table with the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea in the most exquisite aurora of the establishment in question, always post-noon, and no infrequency converse with interested parties regarding the cures with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that man is saying, nor what the words that man is putting out in these little text bubbles for me to read it back at y'all. I'm just keeping it real. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because of his high-class restaurant with rich collie. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, both of you witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit has been attacking the foreigner in what can be only described as an act of war, sir. It was black uniform rogue infantrymen over there who unloaded this firearm, sir. This man is impossible to understand as the other. Maybe I should be technically reading these with like almost sort of kind of like British accents, but I don't know if I can go that far, at least reading all of this stuff like that though. So, this is decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment that you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I'm feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court would like to hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Standing by the ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories at a most acerbic afternoon. First testimony in the game. Let's go. Interesting how we're going to do it between two different people. I was investigating a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling over the virtues of peculiarly fine golden cereal in the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed that, oh my gosh, got a baby crying in the background. I observed the enemy's actions that was my own eyes. The black uniform varsity cadent fired on the English civilian, and from that back, the cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously obscure precious cereal. Like, the dude doesn't even really kind of pay attention to anything, at least the one side dude to the right. Well, so you, Sergeant, no sir, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir, affirmative. That wicked university cadence, sir, the cruel and unforgivable enemy. Wait, hold on here. Was he always examining that? I think, was he? What time we live in, wherein the Englishman gentleman may be assailed through the broad light of day. I don't trust that old man kind of, examining a knife like that. Oh, man. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Renusuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. All right, rule number one, you never touch anything like a gun. You always kick that thing to the curb and let it be. But anyway, after I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang! Well, if that's the truth, then there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Renusuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now. As you heard, Your Excellency, there is no reason to doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. And it's time to bring the despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony of the court as just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. I just like how nervous I am. In the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst. The defense demands its right to cross-examination. Dear me. Let me guess. That headband boy next to the door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh. How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously had no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination? The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Lou? Cosma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Renusuke. But I don't even know how I have to do a cross-examination. I don't even know how to do a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing it is that evidence. That evidence, though. Right. The evidence, though. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now, let's go, Renusuke, and don't let them beat you. That was a poor little attempt at that. All right, then. It's all or nothing. I mean, shoot. Oh, goodness. He might not be like our main protagonist as we have in the regular. Oh, I like that little showdown right there. All right. All right, so I think I got 5 attempts. Let me go ahead and save real quick. Man, I ain't gonna reread all of this stuff because, ooh, my voice. All right, so let's see here. Let me look at my evidence here real quick. Gotta get familiar with my stuff. So, okay, so I got a victim, John H. Wilson, male and British. Time of death was shortly after 2 o'clock. Let's keep that in mind. I see the steak dinner behind me. The dude was shot in the right chest, facing like that. Oh, you can even zoom in on the stuff. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting like that. Okay. All right. Something to keep in mind. And the head waiter's business card stretched the restaurant's layout in the back. It makes me think: is there gonna be like a minor thing that's gonna be up on the on some pieces of evidence where you have to kind of use the magnifying glass like that? All right, so that was the layout. Okay, I'm just gonna give it one more good look. Okay. All right, so now let's go back and read this stuff real quick. Oh yeah, and I can press.
Yes!
Let's press them on this real quick. So, you're saying that you actually saw me at the time? Affirmative. I saw you, laughing and cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of the gun to the English civilian. Man, come on, I gotta get a better slam right there. But that's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. And so what it was. Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. And double again. My sixth sense. Sorry. Say what now? My sixth sense of danger. I picked up on the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, Cadet. Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think do you think I have got where I am today in the army if I didn't sense danger in the air, son? Well, it would seem that the soldier is absolutely convicted that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. Oh, there's like little tiny achievements in this game. What the heck? Okay. That black uniform on varsity cadet. Okay, I ain't gonna repeat this part though, but you know. Wait a minute, hold on here. The black wait, let's read this again. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Now, if I should go and check my evidence over here, and I go over here and check the thing, how can I fire from the back if you see the gun hole from the front, and as I back out, it was shot in the front, in the chest, and it didn't actually go through, according to the opposite autopsy over, or what is basically an autopsy over here, because it did not pass through the victim's body. So if I had to venture a guess, I would have to present this piece of evidence that contradicts what he just says right here. There's that dude over there is sweating buckets. I don't know about the other dude. The other dude looks kind of weird, but what are you playing at, Cadet? What is the meaning of this subordinates trusting some photographic print in the mustache? And inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. Let's get it on now. There's a clear inconsistency here. Tis. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that I know what I want to say, but the words just don't come out of my mouth. I think it proves beyond a doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the Grand Courtroom. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out will be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presents by the defense that there is a clear discrepancy here with the surgeon's statement. What? Sergeant Lunisa knows. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. But no, that can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at this print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to the witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is obviously discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Back behind him. Oh my gosh, that's where the carrot come from. Oh my gosh. Well, what was that? Something just popped up from behind the back and then pushed it back down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharged, my eyes were firmly fixated on delicious Le Carvenal steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Lenosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Oh, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Ooh, how the tables have turned. So this is what it's like being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I had already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. See, this dude, what the heck? The dude could have shot him. Too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure. Indeed. The hurry, come on. The prize court. On each occasion when I visit the restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from the shop. Razate. I don't even know half of this stuff or whatever this dude is saying, in the hope of meeting a richer diner who might like to buy it from me. On the day of the utter scrutiny, it was to the military man that I preferred my Hoei treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes from the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. That Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table, I was in case it had fallen there. And then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding the obscure Holy treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict at the trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Aguchi? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a trigger in the front gate, but he will not find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Ugh. Very well, the court invites the witness to testify again. You will not thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as... oh, shoot. Clear as glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting the signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks. Surname, Iota. So it seems those straps are a sign of Sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. A sergeant with a nanny. Sergeant acting like a nanny. Or needing a nanny, should I say. Huh. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lady in back. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search for the premises of the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. So these testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman, and there was a young woman at this table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. Ugh. It is evident, beyond all reasonable doubt, that the victim was alone in the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photo? It's just a photographic print of the scene at the crime of the council. Indeed, of the table in which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As you can plainly see, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will now add this new photographic evidence to the record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman? The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear I saw that woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takeshi Ayushi, will be contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. All things look lost, but never fear, because justice will reign supreme. The judge may be ready to rule, but I must stand tall, Renusuke. It is not over just yet. If you say it is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to the cross-examination of the witnesses, but make it quick, understood? Yes, rules can be so unbending at times. Ugh. Showdown number 2. Let's see here. Alright, so let's go through here and just read through this very carefully. Alright, so let me look at all my stuff here real quick. That's weird. I thought I could flip it. I thought I could flip it over there to the people, but I guess it's not allowing me to do that. But let me go ahead and save again. Now let's look at this, because I feel like this is going to be the decisive evidence. Even though there's only one thing at stake there in front of me. Okay. And then I gotta check the layout. Wait a minute, well, wouldn't the man be lying if this is the format? Like, if every table had 4 chairs to it, and I turn around and look at this, and only see 2 chairs at this table? Seems kind of fabricated to me. Let me see what they said again. Might have to press on something before I present anything.
Yes!
I thought he didn't say he saw me.
Yes!
I don't know.
Objection!
Oh, shoot. Well, there's a little piece of evidence I could probably use. Hmm. After that must be submitted. So I can read it, look at it, analyze it, and probably find a way to plug it up in this big old elaborate mess.
Objection!
Go back to the press to get some kind of information. It's always wise to go through and press, even if you didn't think there was something that we could have gained possibly from it, just to go ahead and press on everything you possibly can. And from there, if you get any other extra evidence, you can probably go back on what the words that they said, or slash any other extra testimony that had to be added to it. Because, like, let's say they left out something, Then you can go back and use your information, then actually get the right stuff.
Yes!
Hmm. Something about that. Hmm.
Yes!
Hmm. I really missed that woman though, but I'm gonna find a way to prove that the lady was there. But do I have evidence that that's actually the case? Well, I got some new information, but how in the world is it gonna help me? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence, so perhaps we can use it to examine it a little more in detail. Oh, you can actually turn the. That kind of reminds me, I think, with Ace Attorney 1. I believe it was like the very last bonus trial that they added up in there, so it wasn't in the original game where you're able to kind of turn and flip and rotate things around like that. Okay. This thing also is kind of way around. It says Hodo Clinic and the medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? Well, I was 5 and I caught the only only caught the cold and only ever had in my life. Now remember, even though I felt awfully already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. But never mind, forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people will give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think it's the clinics where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Oh, look at this. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of a molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they use laughing gas. That's the most common modern practice for in the West for pain relief. Yes, I heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe that there's anything that can actually stop you from feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drinks besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Uh-oh. Really? Sounds like the information worth bearing in mind. So why in the world would this dude be at a restaurant though? Then that changes everything now. So that means when there could have been two people here. One person could have been eating the food, not him, and the other dude was not eating the food because he couldn't. I'm gonna do it on this statement right here. I'm gonna save first. Alright, there we go. Yeah, present this evidence. Let's see if this is right.
Yes.
Dang it, I did the wrong one. It's gonna be the first time I'm gonna load up the thing.
Yes.
Dang it, that's not right either. Bruh. I want to actually load up my regular save because I don't know where in the world that was at previously.
Yes.
There we go. I thought you could have almost used it on the other dude's previous thing, but okay. What are you going on with her, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I'm the accused. I can see it's quite clearly that the cross-examination you just carried out, when you raised your hand straight up like that so purposely, you knew exactly what it is you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. And thanks for the advice. Let it out. Here we go. Korakuda-san, this is the medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And, I don't see it. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on the report card and what your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, dear me. Have you forgotten the words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish dribble. But let's see if I can explain it in words that you might understand. It was after 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's, remember, Yunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial any further. The witnesses' testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. The medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for that simple reason that, and there is no one else besides the pale-faced man that cut me off. The medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe it? What? The outbursts have petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly do it? Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean anything for me? Perhaps if I told you about the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Kurakuda-san. What, boy? What? As you heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 o'clock, the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No! Additionally, there's more? You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. Hand slam. Yes, and that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Oh no. Expertly done, partner. I'm gaining my confidence now. I'm on a roll, boys. I'm on a roll. What? What is this nonsense? You little upstart? Play that thing. These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. You use your head for once. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Runosuke? Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone this some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat, which leaves one very crucial corundum. Who was in fact eating the picture beef steak? The court will be hearing the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I'm sure you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to the question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak in the victim's table must have been... What can I save here? Oh no, I don't, no, not there. So not the victim himself, and it ain't me. Oh, not these two witnesses are over there on the other party, so it's a third party. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table. You still won't let this go, will you? There was no such person. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything, yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on the table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support this assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal compliant with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Kazuma,
Are you insane? You would take on the government?
don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them, these two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed, complicit with the killing, in the killing. Complicit? In murder? No! Negative. There was no mention at this in the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just saying you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they're told us. Oh. What? What did you just say, Korakuda-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders. Now, hold on, lad. I was, say, you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What? Uh-oh, things getting spicy now. What's the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, your pair? Just one. Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here. Slam that fist down. It's plainly clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Oh, man, come on with the hand slam, man. I thought you had it down. Then who's behind this? And who tried to make you keep their mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You want it? This can't be happening. Renusuke, judging from the way that they're reacting to this, I say that they were sworn by silence by someone with a considerable influence. However, I don't believe Auchi knew anything about it, so the murderer must have been telling them about all this stuff. Oh shoot, things are going down now. What are you saying? I mean, to wield this kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could be only been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas of who might be behind this? I'm gonna go ahead and save. If we affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we can make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it is really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly? Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure that there's nothing we missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. Is it proven that these witnesses have been manipulated? I assure you, the penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I know nothing. And what does that defense have to say about all of this? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first thing that comes out to my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate this case, besides the prosecution, obviously, it ain't him. It could be, but we said it's not the prosecution. That dude is dead. And obviously, these two are the witnesses that are being, misused or whatever, though. It literally leads down to Mikotoba and Sarada Hasanaga. Is it Mikotoba? Or is it the European style who was serving there at the... Oh, he was serving there at the day of the incident. Uh-oh. Well, we got our answer, boys. Yes. Well, surely that would be Satara Hasanaga. Hasanaga's-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier? What kind of word is that? Anyway, possible reason could the waiter have to make with these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have the level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. However, if that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Renouske, time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Sotaro Hasanaga's son's real identity as proven by this evidence. Oh, you can actually save during this part, because I know you couldn't do that during the trilogy. Oh no. Oh dang, I thought it was just coming. Can't blast your text like that. Okay. Well, that's unexpected. What is it? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satara Hasanaga. The business cards do tend to show up on the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not that the name's unexpected, it's the job title. His job. Oh, Chief Inspector Satara Hasanaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Divisional, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector, what on earth? And that's my piece of evidence right there. This is the thing I gotta present. It's a good thing I re-examined it, because if I just presented that piece of evidence before re-examining it, it wouldn't have done any good.
Yes.
The plan of the restaurant, sketched by the band in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention and detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back. It's the back of the card that's the interest. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. It's the front of the back of the card. Oh my gosh. That's where the detail is. Will somebody please explain what his overexcited students is trying to say? Hasanagi-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of the business card reveals the man in the question his profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. Hold on, I just thought about something. Oh yeah, and that's how you can basically turn the story mode off or on. And I think and I guess if you turn that on, it's just gonna play through the story itself. What? The waiter is police detective. I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So witnesses there in the stand. What is in fact the waiter who gave you the orders? Was it he who told you not to remain that you seen his foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Hold it. Inspector Hasanaga. I was worried something like this might happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. And that's why he was nervous the second that he submitted that as court evidence, because he really didn't want to do that. Uh-oh. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guidance principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made the sketch. I was unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say, you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Oh, of course, your salary. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there has been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter working undercover. Is that a lie, or is that actually the truth? And were we still even close to finding the real person that killed the thing? This is a pretty long, elaborate first trial, though, I have to say. That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to the case of homicide. Very well then. Inspector Hasanagi, but will you elaborate on one point for the court? Of course, Your Excellency. We have heard new information from the two witnesses beside you, that at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have been aware of this person's presence having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I'm led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require those witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Man, with the COVID. Correct, yeah, Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. Hey. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran to the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in a chair. Beside him, a gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite of the victim at the same table was a young lady whom I guess was an English woman. So the truth comes out. We need to question this woman that was sitting there at the table, and she will bring the light of all other things. But what are these special orders, and what do you mean to say? Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms in the relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishwoman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as a primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So what's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case? But it's not right. Everybody's over here thinking. One possibility does spring to mind. And what do you mean, Cosmo? Humane University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain, and I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're a chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying the research laboratory at Humane University Medical Faculty. What is happening here? I met under the orders of the police bureau. I erased all evidence of this lady's presence from the scene. Now that's illegal. You can't really do that, miss. And order these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimony. It must be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, the victim was dining alone. However, as we now discovered that this premise is false, it would be desecration to our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. But Your Excellency, that would mean that missing the noon deadline of a ruling order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my court. Inspector Hasananaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with her utmost, get over here ASAP. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders that you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem. And with the COVID over there, nothing will get in my way. Court will be adjourned briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Yes, Your Excellency. Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. And that's it for at least part 1 of this very long intro trial. Usually these trials, at least for the first, this first case, they usually go by fairly fast. I am genuinely shocked that it took me this long. I mean, obviously me reading this out to y'all for a good chunk of it obviously took quite a bit of time. Could have, obviously gone through it a little quicker than that though. But yeah, that's crazy right there. So that's basically it in terms of this first playthrough for the Great Ace Attorney, though, or should I say basically the only one, since this was just like a launch day stream for it, though. So I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. So if you really like this video, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and that bell to stay up to date on all things the Great Ace Attorney that I felt like doing, which, it was pretty nice. You might hear some more of my thoughts on that on this game as I play a little bit more, hopefully within the next podcast I'll do on Sunday night. You want to catch me there live right there, though. But yeah, that's basically all I have thoughts on this game, though. So make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video out if you like it, and let me know in the comment section down below if you got this game. What all do you think about it, though? And what all do you think about this first case, at least up to this point? And the rest is in y'all. The ball is in y'all's court, whether or not you want to go through and pick up the game for yourself and kind of see exactly how else the story will play out. Because I mean, this is really interesting, and I really did like everything that I played so far. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.